Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. Let's start with our top story. During his three-day visit to India, Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh called on India's President Draupadi Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, who is on a three-day visit to India, met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Hyderabad House in New Delhi. Both the leaders held bilateral talks at the Hyderabad House in the national capital, substantive discussions to further energize the India-Vietnam comprehensive strategic partnership topped the agenda. Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi received his Vietnam counterpart at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, where he received a ceremonial welcome at the forecourt of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The leader also visited Rajghat and paid floral tributes to Father of the Nation, Mahatma Gandhi. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi held bilateral talks with his Vietnam counterpart, Pham Minh Chinh, in New Delhi on Thursday. After the talks, several MOUs were signed between India and Vietnam. An MOU was also signed between India's public service broadcaster Prasar Bharati and Vietnam's national broadcaster Voice of Vietnam on exchange of radio and television programs. Addressing the media after the bilateral talks, Prime Minister Modi said they extensively discussed all areas of mutual cooperation and took several steps to prepare a roadmap for the future. During the joint press meet in New Delhi, PM Modi said that a new plan of action has been made to further strengthen our comprehensive strategic partnership. Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh lauded India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi leadership in bringing dramatic increase in Indian people living standards and more. Indian state of Kerala's Wayanad district is going through its worst ever natural disaster as the official figure on death toll reaches 180 and 94 body parts have been recovered so far. Indian Air Force, in coordination with other agencies, has been carrying on airlifting critical logistics supplies as well as evacuation operations. Indian Met Department has issued a yellow alert for isolated heavy rainfall for 9 districts on Thursday. Rain and thunderstorm expected to continue till August 2nd. At least 2 people lost their lives in cloudburst at Ghansali in Uttarakhand's Tehri district as heavy rains throughout Wednesday wreaked havoc across the state. Following the cloudburst, emergency services including SDRF, district police and local officials rushed to the spot and shifted the stranded pilgrims to a safer site. Another Indian hill state of Himachal Pradesh witnessed incidents of cloudburst in Mandi and Rampur districts. A Pakistani intruder has been shot dead as the troops of the Indian Border Security Force foiled an infiltration bid on the international border in Jammu and Kashmir's Samba district. India's Supreme Court has declared that subclassification within the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes is permissible. India will host its first multinational air exercise Tarang Shakti 2024 in 2 phases from 6th of next month in Sular, Tamil Nadu. The Medical Counselling Committee has released the tentative schedule for the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test UG Counselling 2024. The counselling process will begin from August 14 for MBBS, BDS, PSC students. Benchmark indices Nifty and Sensex ended the day strong. At close, the Sensex was up 0.15% at 81,867. At close, Nifty was up 0.24% at 25,010. Gold futures maturing on October 4th stood at Rs 70,005 per 10 grams on the MCX after recording a jump 0.50%. Silver futures maturing on September 5th witnessed a marginal hike 0.46% and were retailing at Rs 83,981 per kg on the MCX. The Indian rupee ended flat at 83.72 per dollar on Thursday versus Wednesday's close of 83.72. The oil prices rose on Thursday, extending gains from the previous session after the killing of a Hamas leader in Iran raised the threat of a wider Middle East conflict and concern over its impact on oil. Global benchmark Brent crude futures rose 78 cents to $81.62 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures gained 79 cents to $78.70 a barrel. Asian shares rallied on Thursday, tracking a huge revival in tech stocks helped by Meta and Nvidia, while prospects of imminent policy easing in the United States boosted global bonds and commodities. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq finished higher as chip stocks rallied and the Federal Reserve left U.S. interest rates unchanged but indicated it could begin easing monetary policy in September if inflation cools. The S&P 500 gained 85.86 points to end at 5,522.30 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 451.98 points to 17,599.40. United Nations Security Council countries called for restraint to avert a wider West Asia conflict after the killings of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh and top Hezbollah military commander raised tensions. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei led funeral prayers for Haniyeh on Thursday in Tehran. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the U.S. was not involved in the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh and reiterated the importance of a ceasefire in Gaza. In an interview, Blinken said he did not want to speculate as to what effect Haniyeh's killing in the Iranian capital would have. In view of the recent escalation in the region, the Indian embassy in Beirut in an advisory said Indian nationals are strongly advised against travelling to Lebanon till further notice. Amidst international pressure to ensure transparency, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has promised to release all the vote tallies from a disputed weekend election. Shops and public transport across Venezuela remain shut down as tensions continued over President Maduro's win. In a charge session at the Organization of American States in Washington, D.C., diplomats from across America voiced strong opinions regarding the Venezuelan elections. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has said that he would be willing to resume talks with the United States if Washington shows Venezuela due respect. The main accused of plotting the September 11 attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, held at Guantanamo prison, are reported to have agreed to plead guilty to conspiracy charges in exchange for a life sentence. Another day of staggering headlines in the U.S. election news cycle, with former President Donald Trump falsely claiming his rival Kamala Harris' coat turned black. Responding to Trump's comments, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris hit back at former president that he had put on the same old show of divisiveness and disrespect. The White House has termed comments from Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump about Kamala Harris' racial identity are insulting. Latest in the UK stabbing case, a 17-year-old boy has been charged with murder and attempted murder after 13 people, including 11 children, were stabbed at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class in Southport. Police arrested protesters near Downing Street as Britain faced a second night of demonstrations following the deaths of 3 young girls. Nigerians are taking to the streets on August 1st in a protest against the high cost of food, transportation and other economic challenges. In Thailand, the criminal court has rejected its former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatра's request to travel to Dubai for medical treatment. Myanmar's embattled military government extended its state of emergency for another 6 months, state media said, as the junta struggles to maintain its grip on power, with fighting rising on multiple fronts and the economy in crisis. Police in Bangladesh fired tear gas and stun grenades to disperse people who were demonstrating on Wednesday to join the March for Justice rally against the excessive use of force by authorities leading to deaths, arrests and intimidation in the country. Arrest of the cartel chief Ismail El Mayo Zambada by U.S. authorities on July 25th resulted into deployment of army in the northern state of Mexico's Sinaloa. All right, we'll slip into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
This summer, the world turns its eyes to Paris, and DD India brings you every heartbeat, every victory and every story. Introducing our special coverage of the Paris Olympics. Experience the passion, the drama and the triumphs. With exclusive reports, expert analysis and up-to-the-minute updates. Join us as we bring the spirit of the Olympics to your screens.
Get ready for the ultimate sporting extravaganza on DD India.
DD India presents Champions Day Paris. Only on DD India. Every day at 6:30 p.m. IST, 1 p.m. GMT.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News for more stories. The India Met Department has issued a red alert for the national capital and surrounding NCR regions, forecasting heavy to very heavy rainfall over the next 24 hours, lasting until August 5th. Extensive damage to roads and homes was caused by torrential rains that led to flooding in Lyndonville, Vermont. Homes have been swept away and bridges and roads have been partially destroyed by the catastrophic flooding. Firefighters in Bolivia are still battling wildfires in the country's Santa Cruz region, looking to contain more than 20 active fires. The military has also come in to help. The Bolivia Department of Santa Cruz has declared a state of emergency through the end of this year due to extreme weather, including wildfires. Authorities have reportedly arrested a number of people for intentionally starting fires. Wildfires conditions have stabilized in Montenegro on as calmer winds eased the tinderbox conditions on the Adriatic coast. A series of blazes broke out across the Balkans this week, following weeks of heat and little rain. Residents of Rome were alarmed by a large fire that broke out on a hill, forcing the evacuation of several buildings and offices. RAI's broadcasting center was evacuated, as well as Space Observatory and 6 residential buildings. Officials said there were no reported injuries. RAI was also forced to cancel an afternoon live show. Catalonia's regional weather agency Meteocat announced that the region's capital, Barcelona, had broken its maximum temperature record, hitting 40 degrees Celsius. Firefighters tackled blazes close to Croatia's coastline as wildfires raged in Greece and the Balkans after weeks of scorching weather. Villages and farmland in northeast China's province were inundated due to persistent rainfall. The Ministry of Water Resources launched a flood defense level 4 emergency response, looking at the situation. The Songhua River, one of China's 7 major rivers, faced a flood peak at Ning'an. The water level at a nearby hydrological station registered 2.55 meters above the warning level of 253.05 meters. Pakistan's Lahore was drenched in record-breaking monsoon rains, causing floods on Thursday, with the city receiving 360 millimeters of rain in 3 hours, which broke a 44-year-old record in Lahore. Aside from its world-renowned cuisine and the golden sands of La Concha Beach, the Basque coastal town of San Sebastian has something else to offer visitors and clouds. While Mediterranean resorts are experiencing record summer temperatures, towns on Spain's northern coast have been enjoying relatively mild weather. A victim of the disaster floods at the Stalos Dairy Farm in the Thessaly Plain is now afraid of the goat plague. Goat plague, a virus highly contagious among goats and sheep, was detected for the first time in Greece on July 11th. Ivorian rice farmers struggle to make ends meet with only one harvest per year before they planted a new variety resistant to unpredictable weather conditions, capable of producing larger yields. The grain is designed to increase output of the regional staple food and cut dependence on imports, allows rice growers to get 2 harvests per year with a yield of up to 5 metric tons per hectare. Nigeria's environmental standards body revealed a 6.5 feet elephant sculpture crafted from incinerated pangolin scales and elephant tusk, seized in recent years as part of its increased efforts against smuggling to protect the country's wildlife. The sculpture, unveiled at the National Park headquarters in Nambuja, is composed of 6 tons of materials confiscated from smugglers in the West African nation over the past few years. Farming has come a long way since the horse and plough, and Earth Rover is hoping to push the boundaries even further in a bid to make farms of the future more sustainable. The AgTech startup has created a farming robot dubbed Concentrated Light Autonomous Weeding and Scouting that combines artificial intelligence and robotics. For crop monitoring, Claus has 8 built-in cameras to identify individual plants and collect real-time crop data using AI computer vision. While the sporting spirit is high at the ongoing Summer Olympics in Paris, 2 adorable giant pandas at a breeding base in southwest China's Sichuan province have demonstrated the athletic agility of gymnastics on rings and balance beams. The base is famous for its work in protecting and breeding giant pandas, red pandas and other endangered wild animals. To celebrate 70th anniversary of Hanoi's Liberation Day, on the Center for Scientific and Cultural Activities of the Temple of Literature opened a thematic exhibition. The image of the dragon primarily appears on the top part of the stone tablet, which is considered the most prestigious area. The Gaikindo Indonesia International Auto Show 2024 has become the debut event for locally assembled electric buses from Wintron, Orionis, Indonesia. The East Java-based company displays the Orionis 8NV electric bus, which is ready to compete in the international market with advanced technology and local components. At the commemoration of the Anti-Human Trafficking Day this year, Indonesia is preparing an application to prevent vulnerable people from becoming victims of trafficking in person crimes. To mark World Day Against Trafficking in 2024, the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and Child Protection held an event with the theme of creating safe immigration to prevent human trafficking. Tanzania and Indonesia have signed a $1.2 billion agreement for the construction of a fertilizer processing plant for urea using natural gas feedstock. The factory will help the nation shape agricultural activities and reduce the country's importation of fertilizers by 100%. Currently, the nation produces 10% of its own fertilizers, with the remaining 90% coming from abroad. Siam Tower in Vietnam, a well-known relic for tourist visitors, has recently garnered renewed interest. This is due to the vibrant cultural expressions of the Cham people. This distinctive feature has made the Cham Tower an appealing tourist destination, drawing numerous visitors this summer. Boston area natives Matt Damon and Casey Affleck returned to their old stomping grounds for the new film The Instigators. Affleck and Damon co-star as unlikely collaborators in a daring robbery scheme. Brody, portrayed by Matt Damon, is a desperate father, and Kobe, played by Casey Affleck, is an ex-convict. A portrait of British singer-songwriter Sam Smith in dreamlike surroundings and wearing angel wings has been unveiled at the National Portrait Gallery in London. Created by artists Pierre Comoy and Giles Blancard, the image called Gloria is part of Smith's personal collection and have never been seen in public before. Amazon Prime Video has announced the release date for the Indian sister series to Citadel Honey Bunny. The series stars Indian actors Varun Dhawan and Samantha Ruth Prabhu in the lead as spies. A new teaser was launched with a special event in Mumbai. Swapnil Kusale wins third Olympic medal for India at the Paris Olympics in men's 50-meter rifle 3 positions. Hailing from an agricultural background, Swapnil is the first Indian to win a medal in rifle 3 positions. For the first time, India won 3 medals in shooting in the same year. President Draupadi Murmu congratulated Swapnil Kusale for winning bronze medal at Paris Olympics. She also extended best wishes to all players for the upcoming events. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also congratulated Swapnil on social media X for his exceptional performance in Paris Olympics. He is also the first Indian athlete to win a medal in this category. In an all-Indian pre-quarterfinals badminton match, Lakshya Sen beats HS Pranoy to reach the quarterfinals. One of India's gold medal hopes, Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy, crashed out in the quarterfinals of the men's doubles badminton event at the Paris Olympics. In men's hockey, Paris Olympics 2024, India lost 1-2 to Belgium in a Pool B encounter. Indian boxer Nikhat Zareen, a strong medal contender, faces a devastating 5-0 loss to China's Wu Yu in round of 16. India's Praveen Jadhav was eliminated in the first round of the Paris Olympics men's individual archery event. With Jadhav's exit, the Indian challenge in men's individual archery events at Paris also came to an end. Paris Olympic medalist Sarabjot Singh received a heartwarming welcome on Thursday upon his arrival in New Delhi. The 22-year-old claimed bronze medal in 10-meter air pistol event alongside teammate Manu Bhakar at the Paris Olympics. Alright, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.